Hey, what's up everybody? Jay Dreamers, and we're going to have some alphabet fun real quick. I'm going to talk about some old alphabets and compare them to our English alphabet. I say our because that's where I am. But the reason I'm making this video is because I was watching Jazz, and he mentioned that Orwell's mom had left a comment basically saying that the English alphabet or English language is backwards from what it should be, and thus essentially makes it a sort of satanic or Illuminati style language. So I'm gonna get into some examples, and I'm gonna show you what they may mean by this, and I'll definitely tell you what I think of this. So I have up here written on the board these are the first 6 letters up top. These are the first 6 letters in the Phoenician, or you could call it a Paleo-Hebrew, an extremely ancient language. This was almost right after picture forms, all right? It was almost hieroglyphics. Now, in these ancient languages, nearly all of them wrote from right to left. And I'm going to get into why I think that they did that in 1 second. But as far as the English language being backwards, I do absolutely think that the English alphabet, or our Americanized alphabet that we have today, is reversed from what it originally was. And I'll give you some examples. This is the Phoenician or Paleo-Hebrew. First letter in their alphabet is this one right here. This is called Aleph. Now, our first letter in our alphabet is the letter A. Now, can you see the similarity between Aleph and A? It's the exact same shape. All that's happened is that the style of writing over the years took slight turns or slight slants. So this letter, Aleph, basically turned around. And now we have our first letter, A. We call it A, but it's really Aleph. Now the second letter, I'm not going through all of them. I'm just going to show you the first 2 here. The second letter is called Bait. Bait, like fishing bait, right? And our second letter is the letter B. Now I'm drawing the B lowercase just so you can get an idea, because there's a little play with much of these letters. However, you can see that they took the letter bait and they flipped it upside down. I just put a little curvature to mine, for no reason. However, it's the same letter. It's just been flipped upside down. Some of these letters have been reversed. Some are mirror images, some are upside down, some are at slightly different angles. Some have had things added or taken away from them. But you'll find when you research the ancient Phoenician alphabet versus the Greek alphabet that they have a lot of similarities. They're almost identical, except the positioning of the letter has been changed around most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of these for you without explaining. Our next letter in our alphabet is C. I'll go ahead and draw it like a Greek-looking C so you can see the similarities. Then we have D, right? Then we have E. And this one is actually akin to the letter U or V or even W sometimes. So they don't follow exactly. These first ones, A, B, C, D, E, follow exactly. And this one over here, can you see me better? This one over here, sometimes they skip around. Sometimes they jump around. Okay? Now I added this one just for fun because this is the letter Kof. Kof. Like cough. Like Kof. And this is the exact same letter as our letter Q. Can you see it? There it is. And then this one is the letter calf. So instead of kof, it's calf. And this is the same as our letter K. Can you see how they just sort of turned it to its side there? All right, so this is the letter Tav, or T. All right, and this is the letter R. And I'm going to focus on these two letters because I'm going to show you something really fun. Oops, why am I drawing it like that? R. Say, come on, Jay. Right? And then we're going to put a little, boom, R. Okay, so that was just some of the alphabet, all right? And just so you know, here's a cool fun fact. Why do we call it the alphabet, right? Well, it comes from alpha and bait, or aleph, bait, alphabet, alphabet. It's just the first two letters in our letter system. That's why it's called alphabet. All right, so I'm going to erase this and show you something really cool. Sorry, I didn't have an eraser on me. So, let's erase this real fast. Grab yourself a snack while you wait. All right, I don't think I had to erase the whole board, but all right. So, ready for something interesting and fun? Now, remember I was telling you guys that in the ancient languages they wrote from right to left. Okay? This is my right. I don't know how it's showing up on video, but this is my right. So they wrote this direction. And you'll see this reflected in much of the world. If you go to the east, to Eastern civilization, we'll say from about the Mediterranean eastward, all right, then most of those countries still today actually write from right to left. Not all of them, but many of them still write from right to left. Now, I theorize that everyone in the ancient world used to write from right to left, and I'll tell you why. Now, if I write right-handed, this is my right hand with the pen. If I write right-handed from right to left, it's going to be kind of weird because I'm going to be kind of erasing what I've written, and my hand's going to get in the way. So, it's much easier to go from right to left using my left hand. Now, my hand is not in the way, and I can freely write whatever. So, I have a theory. I wonder if more people in the ancient world used to be left-handed. Now you got to remember, these characters that I've written, like the letter A, can you see that? That's our letter A. Well, a long time ago, when people, I think, were left-handed, more left-handed, and they wrote from right to left, they didn't write the letter A. They wrote in symbols. The letter A was actually it was an ox head. All right? And sometimes they actually drew the whole body and everything. But they drew in pictures. Now, why is this important? Because our our subconscious definitely thinks in pictures and colors and feelings. But our right brain, I'm looking at it, so our right brain thinks is so much better with pictures than in characters that don't make any sense. This A doesn't make any sense. A is nothing. A doesn't mean anything. An ox head means something. An ox represents something. It stands for something. So, I'm going somewhere with this, so follow me. So, I think that the further back in time you go, you see people writing from right to left because they used their left hand. And that means if they used their left hand, guess what? The left hand correlates to the right side of the brain. Many left-handed people you'll find tend to be more creative, musically inclined, things that are associated with the right side of the brain. Right-handed people tend to be more literal and good with numbers or what have you, even though I myself am right-handed. But I'm working on being ambidextrous so that I can open up both sides of my brain. So that's my theory on that. Now, as society changed and evolved, or I'll just say changed. I don't think society has evolved. But as society changed and our mind changed from more of a right brain thinking to a left brain mindset, and our right brain essentially has just been desensitized and shut off, now you'll find more people are right-handed, correlating to the left brain or the left side of the brain. And our writing has switched, right? Now we go from left to right. The whole direction has changed. So, I'm really excited about this because I love talking about this type of stuff. But let me give you a cool example of how this might be the Illuminati tend to communicate not only with each other in symbols and backwards writing and such, but they communicate to your subconscious and to your right side of the brain, which is essentially kind of been dulled out. Let me give an example of what I mean. Have you ever been driving around and you've come across a drugstore or a sorcerer's shop? And I mean, one symbol you'll see is the little cup, and the little mashing tool. But you'll also see this symbol. Do you know what the letters are? I'm going to draw two letters right now. If you say RX, you might be right. But you might not be right. There it is right there. Okay, so now left brain, we see RX, right? And they say that this is, if you look this up on Google, it'll say it's the Latin word for something like to give or to take or something like that. And somehow that correlates to prescription and healing and health. I'm not buying it. I don't think so. But I do know that there were no vowels in ancient languages, all right? And there are really no vowels like in your right brain, all right? We work with consonants. We work with pictures. There's no such thing as vowels, really. So without the vowels, we can add in our own vowel, and we have the word Rex. Now, Rex is like Tyrannosaurus Rex. It means king. It means ruler, right? So this is a stamp of rulership saying basically a ruler is here. A ruler lives here, or what have you. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to wrap it up real quick. I don't think that is an R and an X. I think that that's a P and an X. And I think that they just connect. I think they put the X a little too close to the P, trying to make it look like an R. Now, the reason I think this is because in Greek, this letter right here is chi, or chi, like chi. Have you ever heard of, in Japan, they have chi? Chi is life force, right? Like China, chi na literally means our life force. Chi na, or China. So this is the word chi, right? Chi, or life force. This is the word rho. Even though it looks like a P in Greek, it's pronounced rho, R-H-O. So R-H-O. Hope you can see it. Sorry if you can't. So from left to right, we have rho and he. Now, rho traces back to the word head, or to the picture head. He is a marker, so it's a mark on your head. But if you read it in reverse, it's the word hero, right? Someone who saves. Anyways, that's just one example of how, yes, I think that our English language has been heavily influenced and is currently used by the Illuminati and their families in order to affect our subconscious mind. And yes, our alphabet is entirely backwards and upside down.